I want to talk about equities first, because we've had this string of losses just in European equities. 7 days of losses. We're seeing a rebound. We saw a rebound in Asia. What we saw over the past few days, was that just a healthy pullback or the start of a correction? The next few days are going to be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, you've pointed to a few very important facts already. Unit labor cost, the development within the inflationary trends globally. Because I think we should not forget, we've had it very good for very long. And asset markets globally obviously have had a very benign backdrop. Lots of talk about Goldilocks coming back. But if we, in order to assess whether Goldilocks is here to stay, obviously the picture on inflation is very, very important. And whether the Phillips curve is alive or not, i.e. whether we will hit eventually a very steep part of that Phillips curve and wage inflation picking up or not. This is a very important input factor in whether equities can continue from here, because I think what markets just took a breather to assess is whether growth can accelerate from here or not, and whether inflation will stay as benign or not. Because if either of these two change, we will probably see a very different backdrop to what we have seen for the past couple of years.
All right, so markets took a breather to assess that. What conclusion will they come to?
I think that is too early to tell, because let's face it, the data will not change within a week. Before we can securely say that we've seen a trend change either in inflation or growth, we need obviously a lot more data points. But I think there's a lot of talk right now that obviously, looking at the point in cycle where we are, obviously there's not a lot of spare capacity to fill. There's not a lot of, at least not globally, a lot of people that we still have to integrate back into the labor force. So comparing it to historic phases of what we call Goldilocks, we are obviously quite advanced already. And hence this question then linking to inflation is slightly different at this point, because we all know the more successful we are in reducing unemployment, the greater the pressure on inflation.